Hi, my friends. I'm Bob, and I wanted to begin this tape by saying that this is going to be a very, very important announcement and a little story I will be sharing on various social medias. You guys who've known me for many years know that usually I'm very light and warm and really let things roll off my back. However, this deals with my son Randy, and this is the most important thing in the world to me that has happened in my years. However, I'd like to begin by, I do have friends on the social media all around the world, so let me start by saying, Labas drogay, Latuvoy, Guten Abend in Deutschland, Shalom, Que pasa Mexico, Hola in Puerto Rico and Cuba, and hello, of course, in Canada, England, and America. This is kind of a story about a kidnapping, a drugging, and a slandering that happened to my son. My son is 22 years old. He's a musician. He's on tour. He was touring for the recent years, I would say probably the last 5 years, Canada, Mexico, and recently he got into some trouble in Mexico. He and I have lived apart. However, we drifted closer together within the last 4 years. Many of you know him. Others have never known that I had a son. You never asked. So now you know. He ran into some trouble in Mexico and reached out to me here in California, and basically with a whole lot of manipulation, money, time, energy, blood, sweat, and tears, he is safe with me back here in California. I usually talk off the cuff, but this time I had to take notes because there are a lot of names who will be named in this tape. And for those of you who are named, who I'm accusing you of these various things, know who you are and know I'm very, very serious. As serious as a heart attack. The FBI has been spoken to by me. I have spoken to government officials in Mexico and the United States. Randy has as well. This is directed toward Paty Romani, foremost. Paty Romani in Mexico City, Mexico. Patty has a circle of friends there that are from government officials, from the police department, and her personal resources, who are involved in sex trafficking, in auto theft rings, prostitution, as well as kidnapping, drugging, and possibly murdering people who are unaware. My son became victim to that not too long ago. He was promised a contract, a music contract, and to perform, because she met him at a legitimate outing where he was actually presented by the president of Mexico as the ambassador for family, good family matters, and against child abuse of any sort through the social media and through events. She saw this, she liked it, she felt that she could use this to her advantage, and using my son as a tool. During the time that he was being used, she chose to manipulate him. First of all, by convincing him that her son, who was rather strange, was suicidal and needed somebody around, so my son, being a very generous and gentle soul, came to the house and spent some time with him, because that's what he does. And during that time, she convinced him to stay for a while and move in his musical instruments, which he didn't do because another friend there who warned him about her. His name is Alexander Tomasi. He's a world-renowned actor, and by the way, she also blackmailed him and actually attempted to destroy his career. And this is all a part of how she deals with people. And this is a man who's been in the business for 30 years and plus. But she also has worked with government officials, and they're all part of this. And to make it very clear, Paty Romani, some of the people that she has worked with are Alejandro Romani, her sister, her sister. Well, actually, Alejandra Romani, the sister, is also a doctor that gave Paty drugs that she used on Randy to get him stoned out of it, very heavily drugged. Randy had called me numerous times from the house. She had starved him, basically tried to kill him for his musical equipment and he has like 700 recordings copyrighted, which she also wanted in her possession to give to her son, who's for lack of better words, a loser. She has worked in all of this with the deputy Uriel Noriega. He's a cop. Also the Mexico City officials. Judge Victor Manuel. Journalist Manuel Gutierrez. Mexico City cop Iris. These are all names of people who are involved in her ring of villainy. She sets up fake interviews, like she did for Randy, saying that he's going to go somewhere, but he did not. It was all just a setup to buy his trust so that he can be more open with her. As I said, Randy is actually a Mexico official ambassador for family wellness and against abuse. She spread fake gossip about Randy and Alexandra Tomaso, creating fake publicity saying that they are together as a team only for her own personal gain and to destroy Alexander. It's things like this. And this is, Randy is just one example of what she succeeded in doing, almost. I'll move on to a few other people who tried to destroy Randy as well, but finishing up with Paty. She's a very vicious, evil person. From you, Paty Romani, I demand a public apology, a removal of all the material and photographs that you have of Randy on your sites, slandering him, destroying his character, his alleged thefts of your $2 million worth of jewelry. I have researched everything. Randy has been with me since December. I have gone into great detail to research everything on both sides of the border about what had transpired. I've seen videos of your home. Randy has taken film of you talking with him. I have seen your lovely home. I've seen you in bed. I know who you are. I know what you look like. You do not have $1 million house. I believe that your jewelry came from Cracker Jack box. I really do, at best. I know that the Mexican officials also believe that to be true, that you are not a woman of wealth, of power, or anything. You are a con artist. Therefore, I do demand again that you do remove everything revolving around Randy off your pages and do not use his name again from your mouth. Don't think his name in your mind. You continue with a couple more people. There's Mackenzie Fox. Mackenzie is out of Pennsylvania. He tried to con my son out of hundreds of dollars for a video production that was never done. Actually, he did get the money from my son, and we couldn't retrieve that. It was a loss. He also goes by the name of Claude Puffenberg on the internet, on the social sites like Facebook. Steve Ostro, you're another one. Steve Ostro pretended to be a music producer. He's out of Chicago. He plastered Randy all over his sites with promises of fame and fortune. The real intent with this sick man was to put him in sexual situations that are contrary to to Randy's ethics and his upbringing. In addition to that, if you Google Steve, you'll find that he still has possession of everything that's Randy. Randy has nothing to do with him. Steve never saw the man. He had him sign a phony contract, intimidating him and not allowing him out of the contract. Therefore, Randy was unable to speak to anybody else or go for help. But like I said, he did come to me. Randy, there are people who tried to help us. When Randy extended his hand to me, I beat my head against the wall trying to figure out what to do. I spoke with a friend, Madonna Carter, in Little Rock, Arkansas. She said she had connections with the FBI and said that she would be of assistance. Well, I waited for weeks and then for months. Nothing came to pass. We both got frustrated. I kept sending money to Randy. I, by the way, moved him out of the dangerous situation into a secondary place 1,000 miles away in Mexico, so he was safe from being murdered in Mexico City. And he was this far from being murdered. He was kidnapped. He was held hostage. He was heavily drugged. In the secondary place, he was safe, but not completely safe. I moved him a second time to the western part of Mexico. He stayed there until I recovered enough of my personal health issues to fly him from there to the East Coast. And from the East Coast, I considered him safe. Thereafter, we both rode back here to California, where we are living together and moving forward in his musical career. As again, Randy did go to the local authorities and to the consulate. Bonnie, Randy, and I went to the FBI in West Los Angeles. I was there last week with him. We did discuss all of this. We gave all names, all disclosures, all information that is relative to this situation and others that Randy has been witness of. Paty, you are being looked at. You are being investigated. Steve Ostro, you are being looked at. You're being investigated. And others. Make no mistake about it. You are in trouble. This is a warning to my friends on Facebook and other social media sites who have children, sons, daughters, grandkids, whatever it may be, who are looking for fame, fortune, or just traveling the world and are unaware of predators out there, many types of predators. They are the ones who are interested only in sexual favors, the ones who are interested in turning you into a slave or a prostitute, or basically, very simply, killing you. There are many things that can be done. By the way, Paty thinks that she's untouchable because she does have a powerful friend in the press in Mexico. He's a journalist and a host. His name is Gustavo Adolfo Infante. Gustavo Adolfo Infante. Guess what? You're being looked at as well. Make absolutely no mistake about that. Your villainous behavior is going to come to an end. And finally, I'd like to close off, I believe. I'm just looking at a few notes here because this is far too extensive for me to remember. I hope you guys are still with me. The bottom line is for me to have all of Randy's materials removed from Paty Romani's page. And regardless of what she thinks she accomplished when she went to the cops and the police there told us what she did, they know that this is not true. They're aware of this entire thing from both sides. So again, she tries to disguise it by actually going to the authorities ahead of Randy while he was still there to say she's the victim, he's the oppressor. This is not so. Randy I've known for obviously 20 plus years, okay? She knew him for a few months and tried to bury him in the sand in Mexico. This is the stories that you hear about the dangers of travelers, not just in Mexico, but other places around the world. It does happen. For the first time in my life, I've become a part of this reality. I saw it in the news, and it could never happen to me. It finally did happen to my son. This is a very scary thing. Again, I demand that, Paty, that you remove everything from the website. never to mention his name again. You are being investigated by the FBI, both sides of the border. Interpol, I do believe, is going to be involved in this is because of the other accusations against you, and there is information, viable information, against your sex trafficking, against your drug narcotic selling, and against your auto theft rings, and all the people involved in your little ring. Remember, and hear this well. I know who you are. I know where you live. I will hunt you down. I will find you. I will have the law bury you.